Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're moving the turtles into a new tank. Bub, you helping today? Yeah, good boy. Last video we went out into nature and picked out some decor for the tank. I got a big wooden element, which was a root from a tree that was pushed over, and we also have some rocks that I found around the property. I got the wood piece free because it was in the woods and it was from a tree that we pushed over and it was just hanging off the root balls. So I cut a section of that and I really like the way it worked in here. I used some stone that we had around the property to prop it up. All the river stone on top of the log are gonna come off. That's just trying to hold the log down as it's soaking up the water. I did go out and grab another rock that I think I'm gonna integrate into the scape here just to make sure the log stays down whenever I take all of the river rock off. This has been sitting like this for a few days now, so I'm going to take all that river rock off and see if it's still buoyant. If it is still floating, I found another rock outside that I'm going to add to the log here that can stay in the scape, and then we can actually add the turtles. The heater is running and we got the filter running last video, and right now the turtles are in 76 degree water. So I'm going to add this in here and then we can check it in a little bit. And once the water's all warmed up, we should be able to add the turtles. Huh, pups? You want to move the turtles? You want to move the turtles? Yeah, bub. So I'm going to go ahead and take all the river rock off and see if the wood floats. We're definitely at a buoyant point now. Alright, I got all the river rock off the log and it is still buoyant, so I did have to add that rock down on this side, and it is still holding on the fishing line that I have tied to this boulder. But I do want to add some more water to this. I want to have that log completely wet, so I don't want that dry spot on top, so I'm going to bring it up a little bit more but still leave it available as a basking area. The temperature still has to come up another 5 or 6 degrees, but once we add some water that's going to cool it down, so it's going to take even longer to warm up. But once we get the water all warmed up, we can go ahead and start moving the turtles over. How you guys doing in there? Just still hiding in the back, huh? Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water and then we can wait for it to warm up to temp. And that should do it. Now we just wait for the whole tank to heat up. Alright, this was actually taking quite a while to warm up, so I added a second 100-watt heater in here. I'm estimating we're somewhere around 75 to 80 gallons right now. And with both heaters running, we're sitting at about 74 degrees. I added a small pump here just to help circulate the water across the tank even more. It's blowing straight across the back there, and then it gets sucked up into the overflow filter, and it just drops back in here. I'm hoping it starts making some type of little current in here. And I also added a string here. I didn't think that fishing line was tight enough, so I just used a organic cotton string and tied that a little bit tighter just to hold that log in place. It's going to eventually saturate and not be buoyant anymore, so I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully the turtles don't eat that string, and eventually it'll be able to come off. I added a screw up here in the ceiling, and I need to get a hook so I can hang the basking light from it. And I do want to add more sand, but my sand bag is outside and it's frozen solid, so I'm going to have to wait till it warms up outside before I can rinse that sand out and get it in this tank. I'm going to find a hook so we can hang the basking light from it, and then we can get that moved over, and once that's over there, we'll be able to get the turtles into their new home. Huh, guys? Yeah, you're sleeping back there, but I see you. It's going to be so nice to see them up here in the glass. I think the only thing it's missing is maybe some fake plants to go around the corners there and kind of hide the heaters. I don't have enough real plants to plant this out yet, and I want to get the turtles in there now. Plus, they're probably going to destroy a lot of the plants anyway, so I'll probably add some floating plants in there as well as some terrestrial plants growing out of the top. That way the roots will be down in the water and they won't be eating the foliage. Luckily, I have some more fake plants stored away here. Let me see what we have and more. And now we have a turtle tank. All right, turtle friends, who wants to be first? Pop, are you coming over for the big event? We don't have names for these turtles right now. They did come with names, but I didn't really like them. I actually already forgot what they are, so we're gonna have to find new names for these turtles. Pop. Yeah, they're gonna be our new turtle friends. We're gonna get them up into the new tank, and they're gonna love it. All right, guys, which end's your head on? I don't want to grab the wrong end here. Start with the smaller fella. Come here. My buddy. Beautiful belly on this guy. Huh, bud? Yeah. Get him in there. Not sure where to put him. Put him in the back. Where you going, bud? Get your buddy. Easy, Pop. You got a good looking belly too. Oh, he's a bigger one. We'll put him with his buddy so he's not scared. What's going on, puppy? I gotta figure out how to use the basking area. Oh, they look good in there. Yeah, you're just starting to float a little bit. He's still down. They look so big. What are you doing, bud? You scared? I know you guys didn't like looking at me, but now you have to. There's some hiding spots. You'll find them. I'm going to turn this overhead light off just to help them settle in a little bit better. And keep our basking lamp on. And I'm going to actually go outside. I have some other things to do. There's a lot going on the homestead right now, so I have some other things to take care of, but I'm really happy to get these turtles into their tank. What's up, buddy? Who do you look like? What kind of name goes to your face? Oh, they look so good in there. You're just chilling. You're just hanging out on that log. Where are you going, bud? You trying to come up get some air too? There you go. Whoop, back down. Alright, they're going to have to figure out the tank here and figure out what kind of surroundings they have and where they like to go. And most importantly, they're going to have to figure out how to climb up that log. Hopefully the water's low enough they can't escape. I am pretty cheap, so I ended up just using a clothing hanger for the hook for the light. We are going to be adding a new basking area, so that won't be like that forever. The turtles are learning to use their log as a basking stump though, so that's awesome. I did catch them up on top of the log earlier, but then they jumped down when I got close. I love being able to see them up close. They look like dinosaurs. Up. They already got in there and did some redecorating, and I do want to add some more sand in there as well so it's a little bit thicker and they don't end up disturbing the substrate underneath and soiling the water. But I think they're getting to know me a little bit better. They're always swimming around and checking me out now. They're not too scared. Now there is still a lot more to do to this tank, but I am going to show you my drawing that I drew so I had something to base this tank off of. So this here is kind of what I'm going for, and as you can see we have Balthazar and Seve in there, so they'll eventually be going into the tank as well. But let me know what you think. How'd we do? Alright, pup, we got things to do. Alright, that's going to be all for this one. We had a pretty simple goal today, was to get the turtles into their new tank. They're in there now, and I'm going to keep an eye on them to see how they move around the tank, see if that log might be too big or if something else needs moved. I have a lot of other things to take care of on the homestead. If you haven't seen my homestead channel, make sure you check it out in the description down below, Whitt Acres Homestead, and you can get everything coming out of Whitt Acres. If you want to keep following along with the development of the fish room here, make sure to subscribe down below, hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.